Tax relief for medical and dental expenses. How to claim the tax back on revenue, my account. In this video, I'm going to tell you about all the allowable tax reliefs for health expenses, medical appliances and dental expenses that you can claim tax back, and also bring you through a step-by-step guide on how to do it on revenue, frame by frame. So don't blink for fear you might miss some important detail, because I will be going through the process of claiming for the typical medical expenses like doctor's bills and prescription items, but also on medical appliances like hearing aids and exercise items, and also on food items for coeliacs and diabetics. First off, allow me to introduce myself. This is Paul here from Payroll Matters in Ireland, the YouTube channel, Facebook group and social media platform for all PAYE workers and their employers to ask, get answers and find out about pay, PAYE, income tax returns, public holiday entitlements, universal social charge, pay-related social insurance, pensions, redundancy, week one basis, statements of liability, tax credits, employee and employer statutory rights and obligations, and a myriad of other work and payroll-related issues, all free of charge. Qualifying for tax relief. To qualify for relief, your healthcare must be carried out or advised by a registered medical practitioner, such as a doctor or a dentist. A definition of practitioner. In this video, where practitioner is mentioned, that means any person who is registered in the register established under Section 43 of the Medical Practitioners Act 2007 are registered in the register established under Section 26 of the Dentists Act 1985, or in relation to healthcare provided outside the state entitled under the law of the country in which the care is provided to practice medicine or dentistry there. You can check if a practitioner is registered by checking their registration through the Irish Medical Council or the Dental Council of Ireland. Qualifying health expenses are for healthcare you have paid for. Examples of qualifying health expenses are payments for doctors and consultants' fees, diagnostic procedures carried out on the advice of a practitioner, maintenance or treatment in a hospital or nursing home, provided the expenses are necessarily incurred in association with the services of a practitioner, or refer to diagnostic procedures carried out on the advice of a practitioner. Maintenance or treatment in a hospital, provided the expenses are necessarily incurred in association with the services of a practitioner, or to diagnostic procedures carried out on the advice of a practitioner. Drugs or medicines prescribed by a practitioner. Supply, maintenance or repair of any medical, surgical, dental or nursing appliances used on the advice of a practitioner. Physiotherapy or similar treatment prescribed by a practitioner. Orthoptic or similar treatment prescribed by a practitioner. Transport by ambulance. Speech and language therapy carried out by a speech and language therapist. Education, psychological assessments carried out by an educational psychologist who is a psychologist who has expertise in the education of students. Relief in respect of speech and language therapy or for educational psychological assessments will only qualify for relief where it is provided for a person who is under the age of 18, or if over the age of 18 at the start of the tax year, receiving full-time instruction at any university, college, school or other educational establishment. Psychologists and speech therapists and language therapists are designated professions for the purposes of the Health and Social Care Professions Act 2005. In addition to the health expenses listed above, certain other expenses are considered to constitute health expenses for the provision of healthcare for the purposes of tax relief. These are certain items of expenditure in respect of a child suffering from a serious life-threatening illness, kidney patients' expenses, up to a maximum amount, depending on whether the patient uses hospital dialysis, home dialysis or CAPD. Specialist dental treatment, in vitro fertilization, guide dogs for blind persons, assistance dogs for certain patients, special diet expenses for coeliacs and diabetics, cost of purchasing, maintaining and repairing medical, surgical, dental or nursing appliances. This includes the following: types of health expenses: diagnostic procedures carried out on the advice of a practitioner. Claims for relief under this heading generally refer to the cost of procedures or treatments carried out by persons who are not qualifying practitioners on patients who are referred for such procedures or treatment by a registered practitioner, such as the patient's local general practitioner (GP). While income tax relief may be allowed in respect of procedures or treatments carried out by such persons, no relief is due in respect of the cost of drugs, medicines, lotions or other items prescribed by that person providing the treatment, as the person is not a qualified practitioner. In the case of a psychologist or psychotherapist, relief is only available where the psychologist or psychotherapist is a qualified registered practitioner, or where a patient is referred by a practitioner for a diagnostic procedure. Drugs and medicines. Income tax relief is available in respect of expenses relating to supply of drugs and medicines. Relief is only available where such medicines were supplied on the prescription of a medical practitioner. Where an individual incurs prescription charges in order to receive drugs and medicines prescribed by a practitioner, such expenses should qualify for income tax relief. Surgical, dental or nursing appliances. Relief is allowed on the costs incurred on the supply, maintenance or repair of any surgical, dental or nursing appliances used on the advice of a practitioner. Appliance confirmation. Where there is any doubt that the appliance in question is a medical, surgical, dental or nursing appliance, a certificate from a medical practitioner should be obtained which states the nature of the patient's illness, confirms that the appliance is being used on the advice of a medical practitioner, and outlines how the appliance will help to prevent, diagnose, alleviate or treat the ailment, injury, infirmity, defect or disability which the patient is suffering. Examples of appliances: a glucometer machine, a hearing aid, an orthopedic bed or chair, a wheelchair or a wheelchair lift, an exercise bicycle, a computer, a false eye or wigs. The conditions are outlined on this table. Health expenses specifically excluded from relief that you cannot claim relief on: routine dental care, routine ophthalmic eye care such as eye tests, cosmetic surgery or procedures such as rhinoplasty, breast augmentation or Botox treatment. You cannot claim relief for routine dental care. This includes fillings, scalings or cleaning, tooth extraction, providing or repairing artificial teeth or dentures. Non-routine dental treatments. You can claim relief for non-routine dental care. This includes crowns, veneers, etched fillings, tip replacement, post and core build-ups, inlays, endodontics, root canal treatments, periodontal treatment, orthodontic treatment, surgical extraction of impacted wisdom teeth, bridge work. How to claim dental expenses. To claim tax relief on non-routine dental expenses, you must include this amount in your health expenses claim under the non-routine heading. Have a form Med2 completed by your dentist. Your dentist will normally give a Med2 to you after your treatment. If you receive treatment over more than 1 year, they must complete a separate Med2 for each year. The Med2 is a receipt for your dental expenses. It is not the claim form. You do not need to send your Med2 to Revenue, but you should keep it in your records. Revenue may ask you to provide it if they need to check your claim. We are asked many and varied questions on our Facebook group Payroll Matters in Ireland about claiming tax back on medical expenses. I'm going to bring you through a step-by-step process of claiming your tax relief on Revenue My Account screen by screen. One popular question is to compare the process between real-time claims and completing an income tax return. I will go through these processes with a real-life example right after I tell you how you can join the Facebook group. The Facebook page and Facebook group we manage are called Payroll Matters in Ireland, and new members, followers and subscribers to our channel Payroll Matters are always welcome. Can I just point out that if you would like to join our Facebook group, you must answer the membership question. Taxpayers in receipt of PAYE income can claim relief on their health expenses in one of the following ways. in year using the real-time credit facility, or after the end of the year by completing an income tax return. The total amount of relief received in respect of a year of assessment will be the same, irrespective of whether the relief is claimed in year or following the end of the year of assessment. Claiming tax relief in year in real time. The real-time credit facility can be accessed through my account under the PAYE services and manage my record cards. To claim tax relief in real time, taxpayers will be required to provide details of the qualifying health expenses they have incurred, along with a readable image of their receipts. In relation to expenses for non-routine dental care, taxpayers are required to upload an image of their Form Med-2 to the real-time credit facility. Information on how to make and check the progress of a claim using the real-time credit facility is available here on this video, how to claim tax credits in real time, on this channel. When an in-year claim is made, the relief due is granted as follows. The tax relief due is calculated and apportioned equally over the year of assessment. The portion of relief due to the time of the claim is made may be given by way of a refund, depending on the time of the year, of course. This is subject to the amount of income tax actually paid by the claimant at that time being equal to or higher than that portion of the relief due, and the claimant being taxed on a cumulative basis, that is, as opposed to a week one basis. The portion of relief due over the remaining part of the year will be given by way of an increase to the claimant's tax credits. This will reduce the amount of tax deducted from the claimant's payroll. Example 1. Shane is a single individual and has an annual salary of €54,000 per annum. In 2024, Shane is entitled to a standard rate cut-off point of €42,000, a basic personal tax credit of €1,875, and an employee PAYE tax credit of €1,875. Shane is assessed to income tax on the cumulative basis. In April 2024, Shane incurs qualifying health expenses totaling €2,800 and claims relief in year on same through the real-time credit facility. Relief on these health expenses is provided at the standard rate of 20%, and the total relief due on the same is therefore €560. That's €2,800 multiplied by 20%. This amount is apportioned over the course of the year and is split as follows. Relief due up to the period in which the claim is made, January to April. This amounts to €187. That is €2,800 multiplied by 20% and multiplied by 4/12. Relief due for the remaining part of the year after the claim is made, May 2024 to December 2024, this amounts to €373. That's €2,800 multiplied by 20% multiplied by 8 divided by 12. The portion of relief due up to the period in which the claim is made may be given by way of a refund, provided the amount of income tax paid by Shane at that time exceeds that proportion of the relief. We can see here Shane's tax position for the period January to April. As Shane is taxed on the cumulative basis and the amount of income tax he has paid in that period from January to April exceeds the portion of relief due for that period, he will receive a refund of €187. The remainder of the relief due, the portion attributed to the year from May to December, will be given by way of an adjustment to Shane's tax credits. This means that Shane's monthly take-home pay in these months will be higher than it was in January to April. This is the monthly comparison table. Shane's net pay will therefore increase by €46 per month in the period from May to December 2024. That is in addition to getting a refund of €187 in relation to the claim pertaining to the period January to April 2024. Claiming tax relief following the end of the year of assessment. Taxpayers in receipt of PAYE income only who wish to claim relief for health expenses after the end of the year of assessment can do so by submitting an annual income tax return. This can be done by accessing the Review Your Tax card in my account. Taxpayers claiming relief on an annual income tax return can manage and keep track of their health expenses and other receipts on the Receipts Tracker services in my account. Alternatively, they can keep them for a period of 6 years for review by the Revenue Commissioners if requested. Where relief is claimed after the end of the year of assessment, the claimant will receive a refund equal to the amount of relief due. This is subject to the requirement that the total amount of income tax paid by the individual in the relevant year of assessment exceeds the amount of relief due. Example 2. Using the same circumstances as outlined above, Shane claims relief for his health expenses in January 2025 by submitting an annual income tax return in respect of the 2024 year of assessment. The relief due to Shane in respect of the 2024 year of assessment is €560. That is €2,800 multiplied by 20%. We can see the breakdown here. As the tax paid by Shane over the course of the 2024 year of assessment exceeds the total relief due in respect of his health expenses, he will receive a refund of €560 in area 2025, that is €2,800 multiplied by 20%. As outlined in example 1 and 2, the total amount of relief received in respect of health expenses in the year of assessment will be the same irrespective of whether the relief is claimed in year or following the end of the year of assessment. This is evidenced in this table. In relation to the real-time online claim, there is an obligation on the PAYE taxpayer who is making the claim to upload receipts. As mentioned earlier, we have a step-by-step guide here on how you can do this in real time for the current year, called How to Claim Tax Credits in Real Time. For those who file a return, there is no requirement to upload receipts, but you must retain them for 6 years. Here is how I keep my receipts. I put them in a lever arch folder like this one. I do a summary of the total health expenditure. You can see here for the year for 2023, or for 2023 it was €2,330. And the amount refunded from third parties such as VHI, LEA, HSE, etc. was €1,165. I did not have any non-routine dental expenses. The total amount I am claiming a refund for is €2,330 less €1,165. I separate each year with these tags. I like to do this exercise before I go into the Revenue My account to actually make the claim. Tax relief for specific categories of patients. Diabetics and celiac patients may claim relief in respect of qualifying health expenses and the cost of foods that have been specifically manufactured for celiac patients to be gluten-free, excluding gluten-free alcohol, of course. Such food may be considered an allowable expense for the purposes of a health expense claim. The cost of food products manufactured specifically for diabetics. Such foods may be considered an allowable expense for the purposes of a health expense claim. As the conditions is generally ongoing, a letter instead of prescriptions from a doctor stating that the taxpayer is a diabetic or celiac sufferer is acceptable. If receipts are requested, such receipts are not confined to those from a chemist. Receipts from supermarkets, etc. in respect of foods that have been specifically manufactured to be gluten-free are also acceptable. For customers who are unable to use Revenue's online services, Revenue continues to provide a paper-based income tax return. The Form 12S is a simplified paper-based income tax return available for PAYE taxpayers. It is intended for customers with routine tax affairs who are unable to use the online services provided by Revenue and allows them to return income from all sources. It also allows them to claim other reliefs, including health expenses that they are entitled to. Our aim here at Payroll Matters in Ireland is to enable members to claim their own tax back without having to rely on a fee-paying service to do it on their behalf. Payroll Matters in Ireland acknowledges that some people with more complex issues may need to consult with a professional service to help them with their income tax returns. You can only claim for expenses that you have receipts for. You can Claim relief on the last 4 years' health expenses. Expenses incurred over a number of years cannot be processed as a single combined claim. Each year has to be claimed separately by completing an income tax return. Relief for your health expenses claimed in respect of a previous year by completing an income tax return is granted by way of a tax refund. To benefit, you must have paid tax in the relevant year. If you have private health insurance, you can claim tax relief on the portion of those qualifying expenses not covered by your insurer. In My Account, you can claim relief by completing your income tax return at the end of the year or in real time during the year. To make a claim in the current year, please follow these steps. Sign into My Account. Click on Manage Your Tax 2024 link in the PAYE Services. Select Add New Credits. Select Health and then select Health Expenses and add it as a credit. Complete and submit the form. For 2020 and subsequent years, please follow these steps. Sign into My Account. Click on the Review Your Tax 2020 to 2023 link in PAYE Services. Request a statement of liability. Click on Complete Income Tax Return. Be sure to check that the bank account details on your revenue record are yours, otherwise any refund due will go to the bank account shown. If you engaged a tax agent in the past, be sure to delete them. We have a step-by-step video here on how you can do this. If anyone has difficulties navigating to the tax credits and relief screen, you can have a look at our video called How to Use Revenue My Account to help you. Proceed to the tax credits and reliefs page. Select Health and then select Health Expenses. When you get to the screen, you put the total general health expenses like doctor's visits, prescriptions, health appliances, celiac or diabetic food costs, etc. in this box, like I will do for my total, €2,330. In this box, the non-routine dental like crowns, root canal, etc. I don't have any for 2023. In this box, you enter any refunds you got or are due to get. That is, you may have applied for them but are waiting to get them in respect of general health and non-routine dental expenses from VHI, LEA, HSE, etc. I have received all refunds that I was due from these, which amounted to €1,165. In this box, you enter the refunds you have already received from a third party, which in my case is the same as above. You will get confirmation screens of your entries and the amount claimed. You can see here the €1,165 that I have just claimed. Confirm the declaration here if you are happy to proceed. Complete and submit the form by entering your RSI number and password. You will receive a refund of 20% of the amount you have paid to your bank account, if it is for a previous year, or 20% in tax credits if it's for the current year. Before I leave you for now, can I ask you to hit that subscribe button and also to turn on YouTube notifications for this channel so you can get an alert every time we post a new video guide, as we have many more helpful pay, income tax and other work-related guides and videos to bring you. Go on, hit that subscribe button. Go on, go on, go on. See you next time.